This is not a 40-hour work week. This is not come to work, take a lunch, get your two 15-minute breaks, and then you leave. You come to work and you fasten your seatbelt.
It's a no-nonsense place. We want to make sure that the work is done. We want to make sure that it's exceptionally done. We don't look at it to be just good. We want it to be great in terms of the work ethic.
Our work is about helping people to overcome obstacles. And in order to do that, it's not just a question of you having the intellectual capabilities, meaning you've graduated from high school or college or graduate school, is do you have the passion to help people? Because without the passion, you're not going to stay late. You're not going to come in early. You're not going to go the extra mile.
I always say to work in nonprofit agencies, yes, there's a part of it that, there's a job, so, you traditionally get paid, but then there's the other large amount of wealth that you attain through the, emotional paychecks, as I call them, emotional paychecks. And there's a lot of emotional paychecks.
For example, when it's 11 o'clock at night and I'm about to get into bed and my phone rings because one of my students has a question about their math test the next day. And while it might not be the most glamorous thing in the world, I'm just as excited for them when they come back to me the next week and say, Roz, I did great on the math test.
It's interesting, it's exciting, it's fun. You're thinking of, you're using everything you have, all your intelligence, all your creativity, every piece of imagination, crazy ideas you can come, anything to try to apply yourself to a problem.
We spend a lot of time in staff development, helping them to understand principles of youth development. How do you work with the young people? How do you develop quality programs?
If you're not really willing and ready to do whatever it takes, then maybe you're not HCZ ready.
Every single person here, down to maintenance, is committed to working with these young people and improving this community. Most of the employees for the Harlem Children's Zone come from the community, so I think that's essential in creating community because you're making your world better.
I don't care where I'm at. Mr. Mike, from the little ones to the big ones. They recognize me from the way they see me, and then they let the kids know. But I want everybody to know this is Mr. Mike, and he's the one that maintains this building and keep it clean, this and that and the third, da-da-da. So when you see him, good morning, Mr. Mike. I figure if I could talk to a few kids, maybe I could save them, because I know what I've been through, you know what I'm saying? So what I've been through, I wouldn't want these kids to go through that.
There's a lot of different things that are going on outside of the walls of the Harlem Children's Zone, and that speaks to all the sites. So there are many opportunities that kids can be engaged in other things, but they choose to be here, and part of that is the culture that we've built here. This is that place that they can go and become anyone they desire to be.
Now, but I get goosebumps on a regular basis when I come in there because this is not just home for, it doesn't just feel like home for the staff and the kids, it feels as home, like home for myself.
From my past, thinking back how, an organization like this could have, changed the course of history for a lot of my loved ones, it encourages me to want to do this work, like I said. And I feel like, I can kind of undo some of the, the wrongs of the past, even though, you can't change as fast. But you can change the future, so I'm trying my best to do that. So.
You know what, I made it out. There was a ticket out of here, but I also got a round trip ticket to come back. So that's what wakes me up every day, is the fact that I remember that I'm going to do the work in my community in which I love. And so a part of that is giving it to the Harlem Children's Zone and saying, you know what, if you're saving the lives of the young people in Harlem, I need to be a part of that because somebody took a vested interest in me and they saved my life.
I think that just the work that Mr. Canada does is good for the community. It shows them that you're never going to be the way you are. You're never going to be fitting into the stereotypes that the society puts on African Americans and Latinos. I think that he shows us that we can change, that we're not always going to be living in these communities that are high on crime and high on violence. I think that's why I stay.